The book of Revelation, the final book of the Bible, often evokes a sense of mystery and even trepidation. Its vivid imagery and symbolic language can seem daunting at first glance. Many people avoid reading Revelation. They're afraid of it. However, Revelation is a powerful message of hope and encouragement. The word apocalypse actually means unveiling or revelation. This book, written by the Apostle John, offers a glimpse into the spiritual realm and the ultimate triumph of good over evil. John wrote to real churches facing real problems. Revelation assures readers that God is in control. He will ultimately make all things right. This is a message that has resonated with Christians throughout history. Revelation is still important today. It reminds us that the present world is passing away. Our true hope is in Jesus Christ. To understand Revelation, it's important to know the historical context in which it was written. John wrote this book while exiled on the island of Patmos. Christians faced increasing persecution under the Roman Empire. The Roman Emperor Domitian demanded to be worshipped as a god. Many Christians refused. They suffered imprisonment or even death for their faith. John's message was one of hope and encouragement to these persecuted believers. He wanted to remind them that God is sovereign. God sees their suffering. God will ultimately vindicate them. The book's vivid imagery and symbolism resonated with Christians familiar with the Old Testament. They drew strength and courage from John's message. We can too. Revelation follows a clear structure, often described as a divine drama in 7 acts. This structure helps readers navigate the book's complex message. The number 7 symbolizes completeness in the Bible. First, the letters to the 7 churches, chapters 1 to 3. John addresses 7 actual churches in Asia Minor, which is modern-day Turkey. His letters offer encouragement, warnings, and calls to faithfulness. Second, the 7 seals, chapters 4 to 8. These chapters depict God's judgment on a sinful world. Each seal opened unleashes a new wave of judgment, culminating in cosmic upheaval. Third, the 7 trumpets, chapters 8 to 11. These judgments are even more intense. They are symbolized by trumpet blasts. These judgments serve as warnings to those who reject God. Fourth, the woman, the dragon, and the beasts, chapters 12 to 14. This section introduces symbolic figures representing good and evil. The woman symbolizes God's people. The dragon represents Satan. Fifth, the 7 bowls of wrath, chapters 15 to 16. This section describes God's final outpouring of wrath on a rebellious world. These judgments are swift and severe. Sixth, the fall of Babylon and the triumph of God, chapters 17 to 19. These chapters depict the destruction of evil, symbolized by the fall of the city of Babylon. And finally, the new heaven and the new earth, chapters 20 to 22. Revelation concludes with a glorious vision of a renewed heaven and earth. God's people live in perfect peace and harmony. Section 4. Symbols of Revelation decoding the visions. Revelation is full of vivid symbols and imagery. Understanding these symbols is key to interpreting the book's message. The Lamb, the most important symbol in Revelation, is the Lamb. This represents Jesus Christ. The Lamb is both the sacrificed Savior and the conquering King. The number 7. As mentioned earlier, 7 represents completeness or perfection. It appears throughout Revelation, signifying the completeness of God's plan. The dragon represents Satan, the enemy of God. He is depicted as a fearsome creature seeking to destroy God's people. Babylon, this city represents the world system opposed to God. It is a place of wickedness and rebellion. Its destruction symbolizes the triumph of God's kingdom. The New Jerusalem, this represents God's eternal dwelling place, a place of perfect peace and joy. It is a city where God reigns supreme and his people live in his presence forever. Section 5. Relevance for today, enduring messages for the modern world. Though written centuries ago, Revelation still speaks to us today. Its message of hope, warning and encouragement remains as relevant as ever. Hope in a troubled world. Revelation reminds us that we live in a world filled with suffering and evil, but it also assures us that God is in control. He will ultimately make all things right. A call to faithfulness. The book also challenges us to remain faithful to God, even in the face of persecution or hardship. John's letters to the seven churches remind us that our faithfulness has eternal consequences. The importance of spiritual discernment. Revelation encourages us to develop spiritual discernment. The book is full of symbolism, and we need wisdom to understand its message and apply it to our lives. A vision of hope for the future. Ultimately, Revelation offers a message of hope for the future. It reminds us that this present world is not all there is. We have a glorious future to look forward to, a future where God's kingdom reigns supreme and his people live in perfect peace and harmony.